Lawmakers in both parties are trying to hammer out a spending deal to prevent a government shutdown on Friday. That deal is linked to tense negotiations over immigration. Capitol Hill correspondent Jason Calvi tells us allegations the president used a swear word in those talks are still rattling Capitol Hill. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Lauren. A Trump official on the Hill today says the president did not use that vulgar word in reference to African countries during that meeting at the White House. But that's of no consolation to immigrants waiting for Congress to decide their fate. I spoke to one young man here at the Capitol, born in Mexico.
I would say that I'm an American everywhere but my paperwork.
20-year-old Sergio Gonzalez entered the United States illegally when he was 7. Today, he's lobbying lawmakers to keep President Obama's protection for 800,000 people like him under the program DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. But the path to a deal is rocky after a meeting in the Oval Office. Senator Durbin accuses the president of using a swear word to describe African countries.
I stand by every word I said.
President Trump's Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen testifies she didn't hear that word.
I did not hear that word used, no, sir. And I actually was struck more by the fact that the conversation, although passionate and appropriately so, had gotten to a place where many people in the room were using inappropriate language in the Oval Office in front of the president.
The impasse over immigration could lead to a government shutdown Friday.
Given the president's strikingly unhelpful comments in the immigration meeting last week, I think it's more likely than not.
I think it would be a terrible mistake to shut down the government, and particularly while we are negotiating in good faith.
President Trump gave Congress until March to come up with a DACA fix, but dreamer Sergio Gonzalez tells me he needs clarity now.
It just provides that climate of fear and uncertainty, and so I cannot do long-term planning, and that for me is causing a lot of anxiety.
House Republicans meet tonight to discuss funding the government and what they should do on DACA and immigration. The countdown clock, though, is ticking, Lauren. Spending runs out Friday night.
And Jason, a judge last week ruled against the Trump administration's bid to end DACA in March. I understand we're getting some late-breaking developments on this case.
You're right. A lower court judge temporarily blocked the administration's plan to end DACA in March. The Trump administration is appealing that to an appeals court, and the Department of Justice announces today they plan to make an emergency appeal right to the Supreme Court.
Capitol Hill correspondent Jason Calvi. Thank you, Jason.